A break point has been reached. Break point. It's broken.
Oh, if I have to get a new computer to you, I'd die.
No, this is the big one.
I know, but it is pretty old. A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH286, Patricia and David. I'm not sure why I'm chuckling, but David's computer seems to be acting up. It has reached a break point. Don't you love it when they come up with these sorts of things? It is Saturday, and it is the 8th of June, and we have had yet another dull, grey, dismal day with air that you could cut with a knife. It's not really raining, but it is damp, so not exactly a good day for the laundry. At the moment, though, it is 18 degrees, 5 to 8 knots from the northeast. That's just come up, 1025. And this morning, when I was on the maritime hamnet, the entire country, because we have one person down in Invercargill and one up in Russell, and those of us in between, were all 1025. There's a long skinny high just sitting there. No wonder we've got no wind. 100% cloud cover and just gloomy. Anyway, we've got a few boats, but I will just update you. Last night we heard from a couple of boats, one who had left South Minerva and one still in South Minerva but about to leave, and both were boarded by the Fijian Navy. There was a ship, but the Zodiac got in the water and came with about 8 to 10 people, some of them armed, and did what was described as a very thorough search. Anyway, I made contact with various people. Now, you haven't heard of this organisation if you're a Kiwi, but there is an outfit called the National Maritime Coordination Centre. And the NMCC was established in 2002 to try and aid communication and coordination between all the various agencies that were involved in the Pacific around us. You know, there was police and RCC and the maritime industry, customs, immigration, and so on and so forth. There was about 8 different organisations. So the National Maritime Coordination Centre was established, and these are the ones that are interested in the sorts of information that came out last night. Now, I haven't heard back from them because, needless to say, it's the weekend. They started with one person and a helper in 2002, but needless to say, it has grown like every other government organisation has grown. And I'm not certain that I will get much of a response, but except for thanking me for the information. But this is, of course, in international waters, although the search that went on within the lagoon is not exactly international waters. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. A couple of boats have already reported in. Pogean is probably feeling a little bit lonely. There's very few left in Minerva now. Quite a few took off. I think the Fijians didn't encourage people to stay. The powerboats, they suggested they move off. So not sure what's going on with Fiji and the Minervas, but given that it was Tonga that actually replaced the lights in both North and South Minerva, I'm sort of beginning to wonder who really is in charge there. But anyway, let's go to Y2K first, because it happens to be on my computer screen. The temperature is down in Funafuti. The bar is 1012. The wind is about 7 knots from just west of south, and it is quite warm still. It's 27 degrees. And going to Pogean, up there in North Minerva, boy, they're brave people. They had a dive outside the reef again today. Boy, it's something we would do, because we have we had last year a dinghy engine that was really not very reliable. So we certainly wouldn't be going outside the reef. They must have a very good one. Anyway, at North Minerva at the moment, the winds are 10 knots from the southeast, 1.5 metre, estimated southeast swell, 25% broken cumulus, no rain still, and 1020. And they see a total of 3 boats only. And apart from Pogean, there's Blatzig. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Barry, you can tell me. Blatzig, and I think it's Tamara, and there's one other. Okay, let's go to the boats that we know are away at the moment. Heading to Savu. Savu is Freitas, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, Freitas.
Yeah, it's a bit noisy on the old band tonight, but I've got you pretty well, Paula. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a bit of crackling going on at your end of my end as well. Good evening to you both. Our position is 20 degrees 28 south, 179 degrees 45 west. We have wind speed of 12 knots from the east. So 1 meter hull cover 10%. We're on a course of 337 degrees, which will be about a knot, and we have 37 miles to go.
What?
Okay, we have some cutting in and out with the internet, which is we've been experiencing that on Spotify all afternoon. I think I've got everything though. I'm just going to go back to my own radio next. 2028 south, 17945 west on a course of 337 true at 5 knots with 12 to 15 from the southeast. It might have been east-southeast, but you can correct me. 1 metre swell from the southeast, 10% cloud cover, and 237. Yeah, that looks about right. 237 miles to go to Savu. Back to you, Paula.
Winds, yeah, I don't know, and our speed's about 7 knots. So, yeah, 237 knots.
Oh, that's even better. So you'll be looking forward to another day of nice winds, and hopefully you'll have a nice pleasant night. It sort of looks quite steady, and just good decent sailing conditions at the moment. Over.
Yeah, very good sailing conditions, thanks. And we haven't had any squalls or anything so far, and no fishing vessels sighted either.
Oh, that's interesting. They are ahead of you, so you will get to see them. I would like to give you an update on Koh Nor, but it's it's like everything else. Nothing is updating, whether it's windy or whether it's AIS, but Koh Nor's position is it's about 7 hours, but they are up within Fiji waters at the moment, so they're not too far away from getting in. Okay, well, have a good night, Paula, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Might be about 20 out of the east.
Dale David says it might be up to about 20 out of the east. Over.
We're about to spring wind will get up to about 20. Is that tonight, over?
Is that tonight?
I'm looking at lunch.
He's
but
looking
hang
at
on.
lunch. He'll just look back a little bit. Stand by.
Sorry, can I request contact with Alpha after the next one?
Yep, if Arca is on, we'll check in a minute. So Freitas and Arca after the net. Oh, and by the way, I looked up to see whether Levuka was still a port of entry, and I'm absolutely confused because on the internet, one entry said yes and one said no. So when you get there, you'll be able to tell us. Anyway, just stand by for David.
Yeah, I think it will pick up a bit by midnight tonight, maybe even a little bit sooner. Looks like east-southeast, actually, east-southeast. And yes, right around 20 knots, 20, it looks like. Over.
David, thanks for that. So we'll probably pick up a bit tonight. Thanks. Over.
Okay, and just a bit of Brit news for you. Evidently there's quite an upheaval or tumult in the political scene in Britain. It looks as if with this July election that Labour are going to romp in. Richie Sunak did a tremendous boo-boo by not going to he did go, but he left very early and didn't meet all of the international leaders in France for the D-Day celebrations. So that he was too busy electioneering. How about that? So it did not go down well with the Brits, who at this time D-Day is a pretty important event, particularly when Macron and Biden and all of the different leaders were there. He sent Mr. Cameron instead. Okay, we'll clear with Freydis and go to Aka. Aka, you on frequency, Ed? Yeah, pretty good here. Nice peaceful day actually. We've been enjoying no wind, so unfortunately it's going to be a bit wet for us tomorrow, but most people will be enjoying a bit of rain. Go ahead, Ed.
Okay, well, this evening at 1700 we were at 2022 south, 17854 east. We're across the line. Steering 3382 at 6.4 knots. We've got probably it's still 16 most of the day. It seems to be dropping just a hair now. From the east, 1.5 meters swell from the east. And I had bottom this morning of 1019. It dropped to 1017 and the wind picked up a bit, but now it's back up to 1018. And the wind is seeming to be backing off again. I'm not sure how accurate my bond is. It's been pretty good compared to other boots, but I'm not sure how accurate that is in real life.
Okay, I'll get David to have a look at what. Oh no, you've.
About the same as Freydis.
Yeah, about the same. Well, until you get closer to someone where we can get an official report, can't tell you. 2022 17854 east and 330 true at 6.4. 16 knots roughly all day from the east, 1.5 meter east, and 1019 or thereabouts up and down one. And
Looks pretty good based on the models.
yeah, your barometer looks good based on the models. So I'm sure it would be pretty good today, given that we're not looking out too far. So yeah, all is looking good on Arca. Over.
Yeah, we got about 10% if we're lucky in cloud cover. It's been a brilliant day. I saw it on the AIS target coming, but then right to
What was that?
Hang on. Sorry, Ed. I don't know why, but boy, there's some strange things going on with the computer. I didn't even have the frequency on the screen, but it jumped up, or jumped down actually. So could you just repeat what you just said? We're back on 8752.
Okay, no, I had an AIS target come up within a mile of me, and there was nothing out there. I set off my alarm for close to the point, but I think it must have been the end of one of the long lines over.
Yeah, could well be, although there have been reports of the of phantom AIS that the Chinese use for some reason or another, whether it's to keep people away from their in inverted commas fishing areas or not, don't know, but they have been putting some, I don't know what the official word is, phantom AIS. And I was listening to something on YouTube before about spoofing of GPS signals as well, that not only do people, and this is particularly around the Black Sea, cause interference on the frequency, but there is spoofing, so they will put somebody where there is actually nobody there. So there's all sorts of silly things going on. Over.
I have no idea what that was all about. But no, I had a good
Yeah, it's all very well when that sort of thing happens in the daylight, but at night time it's a bit stressful, isn't it? So, okay, well, thanks for that, and hopefully people heard that they on Arca saw a return, and there was nothing there.
Anything on radar?
Oh yeah, David said, I presume, do you have radar? Was there anything on radar? Okay, all right. Well, hopefully you don't have any more problems, especially overnight. Okay, and you heard that Freitas wants traffic with you, and it will probably be fairly quick. I'll clear with you and just see if there's anybody else wanting to make contact. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. I don't know whether Whitehawk is on, but is there anybody else? Whitehawk is indeed there. Good evening, Lynette. Go ahead. Okay, and you'll be a good one to report back on whether Levuka is in fact a current legitimate check-in place. Okay, Whitehawk on their way to Suva, 2101 south, 17931 east, 345 true at 6 to 7 knots. Going rather well, 11 to 14 southeast, 1.5 metres swell from the east. 0% cloud cover. I tell you what, I've forgotten what blue sky's like. 1020 and 184 miles to go tomorrow. Do you actually, with those sorts of speeds, you'll be touch and go, but hopefully there tomorrow. Over. Well, 80 is a bit different, isn't it? It's still better than us, though. And 17939. Okay, got that. Thank you very much. Yeah, the AIS is just hours and hours behind for most of you. And every now and again you can see where the satellite has gone past, but it's not getting people in a very wide swath. Okay. It sounds like all is well. You've made pretty good progress, so have a good night, and we'll see where you are tomorrow, maybe in. Over. Roger that. Okay, enjoy the warm weather. Okay, is there anybody else for Gulf Harbour? Nothing heard, short and sweet tonight. Have a good night, everybody. And we will talk to you again tomorrow night. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, clearing the frequency for Freitas and Arca. Cheers all.